think it's going to have a big swipe up.
Yeah, I believe too.
You know?
You need really to go out and see, like, let's pretend that Elliott waves are important in price development. So we have a 0, 1. Oh. Let's say we had our first pump here. This was the first significant pump. You said it's because of the chain fork, etc. There are a lot of reasons why this pump could have happened. I would not basically just put it on the fork of Bitcoin, but more than they knew back then that they are going to use it. So this is where all the big guys came in, and this is where we suffered. And they hold the price down all the time, so that we are more interested in buying other shitcoins than realizing what they are going to do in the next 5 years back then. So, I mean, to fulfill its Elliott wave, it would need another leg up. It just, to fulfill this price action, we just need another pump. If it's gonna stop at $3, $5, $10, $30, I don't know. I just don't know. We're gonna see. But what we can do is waiting for the price to pump, and if the news reaffirms the narrative that we waited for years, obviously for the people recognizing or realizing it at that moment the news comes out, it will be too late. But it will tell us how much higher it could go, or is it the top? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if now at 23 and at 23 bucks they come out and say, yeah, we are going to tokenize everything on the XRP ledger, and we are at 20 bucks, you better sell everything you have,
Yeah.
So this is what I see. There will be a rock, but I believe there is a chance that there is a narrative, there is a saying that says, the longer the base, the higher in space. And in this case, we had the longest bear market, or let's say the longest base ever created in cryptocurrency. This is 2,200 days, bro, where it stayed in a range. Oh, come on. So, obviously, in an investor perspective, when you are here for price performance, this is not the project you are looking for. Yes or no? I don't believe so. So,
Yeah, you're not looking to just make incremental gains.
yes. And another interesting thing is that when you look the formation of what happened back here, because this was not the launch, this was in 2013, so XRP was created in 11/12, so we have price action before this chart. Okay, so that was the first bull run top here. So people think this pump was the only thing XRP did in the past, but we came here from multiple zeros behind the dot and pumped it up to 7 cents the first time, or 6 cents, which already were big gains. Then we had the top, which we also had here. We had the bottom, which we also had here. Then we had a lower high created in the next cycle. Here the time frame was just a little bit more compressed. So here the first top, the bottom of the cycle. First off, bottom of the cycle, next cycle, a lower high, holding that trend line. Okay, so now we are in the same scenario, because from that high on we had a slow and steady correction with a long consolidation base, which we did the same thing here. We did the same thing. It's just a little bit difference in the price action, but it's the same formation. So I believe once we break this trend line here, connecting to all the highs we created, this will be the go point. So now the question is, if that happens, what will they do? Will they pump it immediately? Will they pump it, dump it, sideways action, pump? Or will it fail and we go down? You know? I mean, after 2,200 days, a move like this is rather not realistic. Because they already hold the price down for the majority of time of its existence. They had time during 2,000 days accumulating this asset. And there were once, Warren Buffett once says, I don't want a company to 10x in a cycle. He said, I want to buy next year even more, and that year after even more, and that year after or quarter after even more. So I'm not interested in a 10x quickly. I'm interested in longevity. I'm interested in 100x in the next 30 years, you know? So if that thesis, we take it to this one, you realize that they did none other than pumping the price, pricing out every retail, and then giving us boring action for 5-6 years to then push it higher. This is what I believe, and this is why I also still believe in it. The chart looks great, the connections are great, the rooms in which the company is sitting are great. They now said, Brad Garlinghouse on Davos now laughed about people asking if there would be an XRP ETF, and he said, of course, certainly there will be. When? And then he stopped talking about it. Not even Larry Fink can talk about it. They all just use the technological words to explain what will happen. Tokenization of assets. I mean, which chains are in development for those use cases since over, I don't know, 10 years. It is Ripple. It's the only company out there that could be purchased from bigger guys to be controlled. So we cannot change the fact of what they will do. We can just anticipate our own cake and giving it back to the people we love and the people that deserve it. We cannot change the fact that they create and have the game in their hands. It's their game. The market is their game. The Wall Street is their game. The whole economy is money game, and the money is a product of the banks. So as the product of Sarah is clothes, money, their product is banks. It's the product of banks, and you play in their game. So talking bad about the bank and wanting to capitalize in their own space just makes you an hypocrite, you know? Because we all know that the change in this technology will be devastating for a lot of people. But they just don't want to listen. As if we don't do everything to tell it to everyone since 5 years. Nobody listens. So that's the price they are going to pay. Does not mean that we are evil because we know the truth. And this is how I see it. It will change the world. It will go up in value. We will make a lot of money. But does not mean we are evil, because it's what we do after that which determines who we are. And then I just made a short before where I explained, like, the original narrative of Bitcoin always was like getting out of the rat race, custodying your own money, having an alternative currency, and all that stuff they promoted Bitcoin with, or BTC. And for me, it all was a beta version of a new financial system. So Bitcoin was basically, in my opinion, or it's not even that I would say 1,000% I'm sure about it, but I see Bitcoin as a cheap marketing incentive technique for people to accept that digital currencies have value. So incentivizing the few people with extreme gains would make their mouth talk to everyone they know. And then it takes 1 or 2 cycles for the people to realizing that he was right with what he was saying. And at that point, it's already too late. So Bitcoin for me was an incentive for the new system for people to say digital money has no value, to I want my Bitcoin ETF approved by the government and the banks. I want the banks to buy all the Bitcoin so my portfolio goes up. And where's the morality of where it started? Like, I thought XRP is the banker's coin. And now you want the ETF to be approved. So they put all their money into your asset. It's like fucking degens. All the YouTubers, all these guys, I just don't get it. They are just so stupid that today they do everything just for the money. They do everything for the money and don't even understand the world. You know? That's what I
Do
see.
you think ETF would be good for XRP?
No, of course it's
Yeah,
not
it'd be
good.
terrible. It's not good.
It has two sides. It depends on which side the big one play. You know? Because if they want the price to go up, if there's an ETF or not, it will go up. But if they want, if for example Bitcoin, let's say now in an example of BlackRock, let's say we found out about Bitcoin in, let's say, 2015, okay? Do you think if we little ants got Bitcoin in our ears in 2015, do you really think it took until 2017 for big institution to recognize or to realize that this asset is existing? No, it doesn't. And I believe what could be devastating for any cryptocurrency is them accumulating all the way and just waiting for, like Grayscale, just waiting for the ETF to be approved to dump the price. But I don't even believe that they are going to do it right now because of what I told you before.
Could go to all-time highs.
Yes, of course. It will. It will.